Any veteran rideshare driver, whether driving for Uber or Lyft, will tell you there will always be the occasional passenger that complains about the route you take. But always be cautious of how much they're actually complaining. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim with another ride-sharing video. Listen, marijuana is becoming more and more legal as the days progress on. I personally am a supporter of legalizing the narcotic, if you want to call it that. Nevertheless, it can lead to a hell of a consequence for rideshare drivers. Listen to this title here. High on marijuana, woman panics and jumps from rideshare on I-96. Yes, you heard it right, folks. Someone who was panicking while high on marijuana decided to jump out of a ride-sharing vehicle. Here are the details of the story. Detroit, Michigan. A woman high on marijuana panicked while in a rideshare and jumped out of the moving vehicle on I-96 near I-94, state police said. Now, this originally got reported as a kidnapping. The passenger believed she was being kidnapped, and we'll go into why the hell she would think that, but she believed the driver was kidnapping her and jumped out of the vehicle. Now, this isn't the first story we've covered similar to this. In fact, there's been a few where passengers have been high or on some type of narcotic or just simply going through a mental state, believed the driver was trying to kidnap them and took some type of adverse action like this. Covered one driver down in Texas where the passenger shot him in the back of the head because she thought he was trying to take her into Mexico, simply trying to take her from point A to point B. But because she saw a sign that said Mexico on the highway, she pulled out a pistol, shot the driver in the back of the head. Continuing on though, does marijuana do all of that to you? Folks who do smoke, yours truly, I don't smoke. Does marijuana really fuck you up that bad? I heard one guy state that he was so high on marijuana, he pulled up to a stop sign, sat there for 5 minutes waiting for it to turn green. What the hell? Why the folks smoking these days? I don't smoke, but what the hell are they putting in this shit? Had a family member driving down the highway, told me himself personally, driving down the highway, stopped in the middle of the left lane because the light on the overpass above had turned red. He was waiting for that light on the overpass for traffic that was crossing the highway to turn green before he continued on the actual highway, stopped in the middle of the highway. So some of this shit really fucks people up. Witnesses reported that the woman jumped from a vehicle in the left lane on I-96. Then a rideshare driver called the police and said the woman jumped out of his vehicle because she did not like the route he was taking to downtown Detroit. Now, if a passenger starts complaining about the route you're taking, shit like this makes it important you realize, do whatever it takes to calm them down. What route would you like me taking? What route does your GPS say I should take? Here's the GPS on my phone. Is this telling me to go the wrong way? Do something to calm them down. Not necessarily because you may have a crazy ass bitch jump out of your shit, but as I stated, one passenger shot and killed the driver for the exact same reason. So oftentimes de-escalation can end a lot of this stuff. But if a passenger is in your vehicle, remember they have tactical advantage behind you. They're complaining. It's probably a good idea to address the complaint. Don't just drive down the road and ignore that shit. And I understand, if you're doing the after club crowd and things like that, you get folks who you don't want to talk to. They're spitting all over you. They're half drunk. Their breath stink, things like that. But you don't know where someone's mind is going or where they may taste some shit. Similar to this passenger where she just jumped out of the ride while he was moving down the highway. Nevertheless, the police did interview this woman who was stating that she was actually kidnapped, and that's the reason why she jumped out of the car. Here's why she thought she was being kidnapped. During the interview, it was determined she was under the influence of marijuana and had anxiety because she said she saw a sign that said Port Huron and panicked, thinking he was about to take her somewhere else, state police said on X. So she saw a sign on the highway that said Port Huron and thought that's maybe where he was taking her. No matter what city you're in, if you're driving on a highway, they're going to have other cities on the highway because they think that's where you're leading to. You could be in Chicago and there's a sign that says Memphis, letting you know this is the highway you take that leads you all the way to Memphis. That don't mean somebody's taking your ass to Memphis. She saw a Port Huron sign, thought the guy was trying to take her there apparently, and figured he was kidnapping her. Obviously, she didn't have much conversation with the driver. She saw the sign and just bailed out of the vehicle. That is what simmering on some of these really good narcotics will do to you. Sitting in the back, paranoid as hell, you see the sign, that confirms your belief that he's kidnapping you, and the only solution is to jump out of the damn vehicle. Police continued on, though. The kidnapping investigation will be closed as unfounded, with the woman being turned over to her family. So the police did realize she was fucked up on marijuana. I didn't know marijuana really kicks in that hard. Is it laced with something? You guys in the comments let me know, my fellow, marijuana smokers. Like I said, I've never tried this shit. I don't know a lot about it. But I've heard folks definitely state that they've got their hands on some good shit and it had a very strong effect to them. So I'm assuming that she is by no means the only person that has reached this level of euphoria. And understand, when you're picking up passengers, it could happen to you as well. So be cautious of what you're putting in your vehicle. By the way, this did not happen during the wee hours of the morning. You know, we always talk about nothing good happens at the midnight. I believe this happened at 4:40 in the afternoon, broad daylight. So understand, time doesn't always dictate when some crazy shit might happen. Ever had somebody get in your car that was incredibly high and started talking crazy shit like this or questioning your route? How did you handle it? Feel free to drop that in the comment section. As always, feel free to smash that like button. Subscribe if you will. See you in the next video.
For the love.